Do you ever have very awkward moments at places you least expected? Well, that's what today's story is about. So let's dive into this. Before we get into this video, I would like to apologize for my background noise. Mr. Pickles and Humphrey are just being completely rude and barking, and my gardeners are using the leaf blower to blow my back deck. So there's going to be quite a lot of noise, so I am terribly sorry about that. I'm going to do my best to try to talk over it. But anyway, hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I'm going to be retelling you guys my first awkward experience at a local Vietnamese restaurant. So I made this video about a year ago. It was about almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this year. Last time when I filmed it, it was about a year ago. So I don't like the quality and I don't like how the video is edited. So I'm going to be retelling you guys a full story. And if you want to see that video, I'll link it in the description box down below. And this is a story about how I went to this Vietnamese restaurant that I normally have good customer service at. And I got kind of like the weirdest customer service because it took someone forever to get to our table. And they didn't tell us until after we were leaving the restaurant they were understaffed. So this is the story just to let you guys know. Sometimes restaurants you normally have good customer service at, you can't always just expect good customer service. Sometimes they can be understaffed. Sometimes it can be quite difficult. It just happens. So I'm going to get started and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So that all started about 6 years ago. At the time when I filmed that video, it'll be almost 6 years ago this year. At that time when I filmed the video, it was about like 4 or 5 years ago. So I go to this local Vietnamese restaurant with my mom, and it was one of our favorite restaurants at the time. And we go and sit down, and we decide to stop there for an appetizer. And this actually happened the same day as my friend got snapped at by an employee at an arcade. And if you want to see the full story, I'll link it down below if you didn't see, as well as the other story of the first awkward experience at the local Vietnamese restaurant. So anyway, I go and sit down with my mom. We wait, no one has come over to our table to give us menus. So I have to walk up to the counter and say, excuse me, we didn't get menus. And they were super polite and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. We'll bring your menus right now. So I go back to sit down with my mom and my cousin-in-law and my mom's friend. Says we were all gonna go to the 2017 version of Beauty and the Beast. And if you want to see my review on that, that'll also be linked in the description box down below. So we're at the restaurant, we're sitting there for a while. Our movie starts at 7:30 and it is I think it's 6:50 at the time we arrived at the restaurant. So we're sitting there, we sit there for a while, and it takes someone forever to bring us our drinks. And so the waiter comes 15 or 20 minutes later to bring our drinks. And he said, sorry about the wait, we'll be right back. And then he leaves. So we wait, we're still waiting. And by this time, it's 7:15. We have a couple minutes before the movie starts. It's 7:15, and like I said, the movie starts at 7:30. By this time we have about 45 minutes before our movie starts. Not that big of a deal. So we're being flexible, whatever. And so we start getting phone calls from my uncle, and he goes, where are you guys, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we're at this Vietnamese restaurant and we're ordering this appetizer, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I'm here with your Mina's friend's parents and Mina's friend. And we're here also with the other group, because we had a large people going to see Beauty and the Beast opening night. and we are waiting, and everyone else is waiting in line, and they're waiting for us, and now we feel bad. So the waiters are still taking a while for our food. So we have to kind of like rush them, and I hate rushing people in restaurants. I've worked in a restaurant before. Well, actually not like a restaurant, but just a restaurant where you run food out, where people order it, kind of sort of like a fast food restaurant, but it wasn't a fast food restaurant. But anyway, so I have to keep going back and forth up to the counter to remind these people that we have to get our food, and they still haven't brought us our appetizer. So they take 15 minutes, bring us our appetizer, and we start eating our appetizer. We kind of have to rush and eat our appetizer quickly, and because we're just in a hurry, because we're keeping a bunch of people waiting to go see Beauty and the Beast. So we just rush, eat our appetizer, and then my mom goes up to pay, and then she says, "What is going on here? We normally have good customer service at this restaurant, blah, 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 blah." And they literally like very apologetic, and they're like,
"Oh, we're so incredibly sorry. We didn't tell you we're understaffed tonight, and we're so sorry we didn't tell you. We have just been so busy running around back and forth, and there's only like this many people in the restaurant, blah, 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 blah. And we're so sorry you had to wait so long for your appetite."
So I kind of wish they told us that earlier, because we were kind of a little irritated that we had to wait so long for our food. And they should have told us ahead of time that they were going to take a while because they were completely understaffed. And it really, really irritated me, my mom, and my cousin-in-law and my mom's friend that we had to wait a while. And we were already kind of like running behind for the movie. So after we pay for our food and tip the people, we didn't really tip them very much because we were kind of upset. So we leave the restaurant, we get in the car, and then we drive to the movies. And then luckily we got there in time before the movie started, but we felt really bad that everybody was standing outside the movie waiting for us to get into the movies, because my cousin-in-law had all the tickets for everybody, and we apologized to everybody. We're like, "We're so sorry. We got stuck at the Vietnamese restaurant, and they didn't tell us they were understaffed," and blah, 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 blah. And they were all flexible with it, and luckily we all got to the movie in time, met with everybody, and we all go in, show them the tickets, and then we decide to not let our bad experience at the Vietnamese restaurant ruin the rest of the afternoon, which is a good thing, because I was just more into seeing Beauty and the Beast rather than the bad experience I had at that restaurant. And we kind of don't really eat there that much anymore, just because it's just because ever since we had that kind of like weird experience, we just don't eat there very often anymore. Pardon me while I bite my food. But anyway, the moral of the story is, if you work in a restaurant and your restaurant's totally understaffed, it's really important to let people know it's going to be a long wait, because that's not really good customer service to wait until after people wait a really long time for their food. It's good to warn people ahead of time that their food's going to take a while because your restaurant is understaffed. It's just never a good customer service, because they can't read your mind. They can't understand what's going on unless you actually word it with them that your restaurant's understaffed and it's going to be quite a while for your food or something. So customers' food, excuse me. So it's just important to communicate that with customers ahead of time instead of waiting until after they get their food late. So that was the retelling of my first awkward experience at a local Vietnamese restaurant number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, if you didn't see the original video, I'll link it down below if you didn't see. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And I'll see you in another video soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well.